25 mils of 0.002 molar potassium chromate is mixed with 75 mils of 0.000125 molar lead nitrate. Will a precipitate of lead chromate form? KSP of lead chromate is 1.8 times 10 to the minus 14. I'm writing my KSP expression or equation for the precipitate that forms. So they've told you it's a precipitate of lead chromate. They've told you it's lead 2 and chromate is CrO4 2 minus. So what must the formula for lead 2 chromate be? PbCrO4 solid turns into Pb2 plus aqueous and CrO4 2 minus aqueous. What's my expression for Q using this equation? Pb2 plus CrO4 2 minus. My moles of Pb2 plus, I need to know the ratio. So I need to write out the formula first. What's the formula of lead nitrate? That's where the lead ions come from. PbNO3 2. So that's the formula of lead nitrate. What's the ratio of lead to lead nitrate? 1 to 1. So if it's moles of Pb2 plus, that's equal to moles of PbNO3 2. So I don't have to multiply by anything. This is just going to be C times V. And my concentration is 0.000125. My volume is 75 mils, but what do I actually sub into my equation? It's liters. So instead of 75, what am I putting in? Divide by 1,000, 0.075 moles. And then I have to do the new concentration of Pb2 plus, which is N on V. What's my volume? Am I taking the same volume from before? I've now mixed the two solutions together. So I'm trying to calculate the concentration after I've mixed them together, which means when I do C is equal to N on V again, I'm taking my new volume. So it was 75 mils plus my 25 mils, which is 100 mils, but then what number do I actually put in? 0.1. What was the moles for Pb2 plus? 9.3 times 10 to the minus 6. So what's my concentration for Pb2 plus? 9.4 times 10 to the negative 5. You guys just got some rounding off issues there. So just watch out for that in your calculator. And then I do the same thing with my chromate. So moles of chromate, CrO4 2 minus. And then my chromate comes from my potassium chromate. So for me to figure out the ratio, like what's the ratio of chromate to potassium chromate, I need to know the formula. So what's the formula for potassium chromate? K2CrO4. So if it's K2CrO4, my moles of chromate, what is that equal to in terms of my moles of potassium chromate? Is it just a 1-to-1 ratio? Do I have to multiply the moles of potassium chromate by 2?
It's just 1 to 1.
Good. Sometimes it's easier for you to put it in brackets. So the chromate is the whole CrO4 and there's an invisible 1 here. So my moles of chromate is equal to my moles of potassium chromate. That's where the solution is from. So then I do C times V again. So that's 0.002 molar times 0.025 liters. So what's my moles of CrO4?
5 times 10 to the negative 5.
And then I pop this over here to get my final concentration, because remember, I'm looking for the concentration after I've mixed them together. 5 times 10 to the minus 5 moles. So I need to add my two original volumes together to get my final volume. What's my final concentration of chromate?
5 times 10 to the minus 4.
I've now calculated my concentrations. What do I need to do now? Sub it into QSP. So that's 9.4 times 10 to the minus 5. In this case, I don't have to watch out for any powers because it's all 1. Times 5 times 10 to the minus 4. So what's my QSP?
4.6 times 10 to the minus 8.
Just as a bit of revision, do we have units for this? QSP and KSP don't have any units. I've got QSP. What am I supposed to be comparing this to?
KSP.
They've told you that KSP is 1.8 times 10 to the minus 14. So KSP, 1.8 times 10 to the minus 14. Q is bigger than KSP, a precipitate will form.